Welcome to Appointy Tutorials. In this video we're going to talk about business hours. Now you can set the availability from three different places. The first one is you can click on staff, then click on the staff name and add availability over here. The second place to do that is click on the service and click on the service name and add availability over there. The business hours is a combination of both the service and staff availability. So when you click on the business hours, by default it's going to show you the staff view, which means the first column will have all the staff members, and then you would have the weekdays, and you can also select regular or irregular hours over here. Now if you want to add more services, you can click on the pen icon next to the service and you can select that. Now at any point in time you can select only one service and it will show you all the staff members linked to that service. Now let's say for example I want to add regular hours for Wednesdays with this staff teacher 1 for class 1. Now if I go and click on Wednesday, add the times, it will still give me the option to select other staff members and other services. So if I click on class 1, I can then select multiple services and I can say repeat for other staff members and select multiple staff members. Once I've chosen my combination of services and staff members, I can click on update. Now the next view is the service view. In this it will select a particular staff member and the first column would be all the services that are available. Again, you can see all the available days of the week. It is a regular schedule, so it will repeat itself, and then we have irregular hours that are date specific. Now the one next to that is the list view. When you click on that, it will show you any and all irregular hours for this particular staff member. Now one more thing that you can do from business hours that you cannot do from staff and service availability is create multiple schedules. So let's say for example you have a summer schedule and a winter schedule and a spring schedule, so you want to have multiple dates and multiple months that you can add availability for, and it'll switch to those automatically. To get to that or to create those, you would need to click on where it says the current schedule. When you click on that, you would get the option to add a new schedule. You can also edit or delete the current schedule. Now I would advise you not to delete the schedule if you have only one, because then it's going to cause problems. So what you can do is, let's first edit this current schedule and set an end date. So right now it says last forever or set an end date. So as you cannot see any end date over here, it means it's going to last forever. For Appointy, that's like till 2070. So I will select set end date and I would click on the year and say 2022 January 1st is going to be the end date. And when I click on update, you would see that it changes from January 2070 to 1st of January 2022. Now to add the second schedule, I click on the name again and click on add schedule. Now what you need to make sure is that the new schedule should end where the first schedule, the new schedule should start where the first schedule ends. Now if you have dates that are overlapping, that's going to cause an error. So if I, let's say for example I say 2022 and I choose January, okay, let's say 18th of January, and then I click on end date and I say okay, January 26, 2023. Now it says okay, need to create a name as well. Now as soon as I have a name and start date and end date, now because the start date is conflicting with the current schedule, it will not let me create. So what I need to do is I need to select 1st of February. As soon as I do that, I can now click on create. Once I click on create, I have two schedules now. Now right now it's on the current schedule. As you can see, you click on that and you click on new schedule. As you can see, the new schedule is blank. So you have regular hours, irregular hours, you can add times. Now we're on the service view, so it has the staff member's name over here. Now this change where you add a new schedule would also reflect on the service and staff availability. So if I click on the staff name and I click on current schedule, now you can see I have two schedules over here. So I can change the schedules and add availability from here. Now the only place where you can actually add or remove schedules is business hours, so that's where you would be creating schedules, and you can either update your hours from here, business hours, or you can do it from staff or service tab as well. Apart from that, you can also edit the existing schedule. So let's say the new schedule is starting on the 1st of Feb, and then you decide that no, it's going to start on the 1st of March. So you click on the pen icon next to it and you can change the dates, and you click on update. So this way you can have multiple schedules. One thing that you need to make sure is if there is a gap between the current one or the new one, or if there's any gap between two schedules, those days are not going to have any availability, and that's not going to show up on the customer calendar. So make sure that your schedules are aligned with each other and are not overlapping, and then you can add as many schedules as you like. Now let's X out of this. Now we also have another feature over here, which is locations. Now locations is a feature that's part of the enterprise plan only, and basically what this does is that you can create multiple accounts and link them to a single account. The first account that you create would become the master account, and the other accounts would become the children account. Now you can add multiple locations by clicking on the add location tab over here. Now there are two different ways of adding a new location. The first one is by having an existing account that you can link. So you see at the bottom you have need to link an existing account. Click here. Now when you click on that, it'll just ask you for the username and the password of that account, and you can log in and link. The other way that you see over here is by creating a brand new account. So you would need a location name, you would need a separate username, a separate password, a separate administrator details like last name, first name, and email address. A couple of things that you need to make sure is that the email address for locations are going to be separate, because the way the locations feature works in Appointy is that it is separate accounts. The only thing that's linked is the billing. So you would be paying through your master account, and from the master account you can switch between accounts, but each location is an actual separate account. So as you can see over here, I already have one location linked over here. Now as soon as I click on switch, it moves to the new location. And again, as you can see, the staff members are different, the services are different, the business hours. So all the settings, all the reports, all the customers, all the availability, everything is separate. The only thing that is linked between the locations are actually the billing. So you're paying through the master account and nothing else is linked as of now. So this is how you can link locations. Now when you log into the master account, as I mentioned earlier, you can switch between accounts from here. When you logged in as the master account, as the administrator for the master account, you would be able to see the usernames for the other locations as well. So this is pretty simple on how to add locations. When you're adding a new location, it will ask you to set up, and the system can copy the services and the settings. So let me show that to you. So let's type in the location name. Then we have the username. Now the username and the location name can be same, or you can have it separately. Then you have the password, Now you can have the same password for multiple locations. The only two things that cannot be the same is the username and the administrator's email address. So let's put in the administrator's email address and name and click on save. Now as soon as you click on save, it will ask you to duplicate the services. So the account was added successfully. An email with login credential and a link to set up has been sent to the local location administrator. Do you want to replicate all services from this account? Now this part is very important, because if you don't say yes and go to the email and set up the account, you would then need to manually add each service. So if you have an account where you have multiple locations providing the same services, make sure that you do not miss this step, because once you miss this step, there is no other way of copying the services from one location to the other one. So if I click on yes, it's copied successfully. Now I can click on switch over here and move to the other location. Now as you can see, there are no staff members, but there are services. So what you would need to do is add staff members one by one and add availability. As soon as you add availability, customers will be able to book on this location as well. Now because I initially logged in from the master account, I can still move back to the main account from here. But if I had logged in from any of the location accounts, I would not have been able to move to any other location account. So you get one super administrator login, and then you have administrative logins for each location as well. So that's pretty much it about the location tab and the business hours. See you in the next video.